All right, so the hackers' attack vectors continue to evolve, and we'll give you a couple of examples of some of that. One thing I'd like you to think about is those that are very targeted are ones that are designed for you never to know about. I'll give you an analogy. Think of it in a physical sense. In the old days, it still happens today, but somebody would break into a store, they would steal something, and that something has value. When they take it, it's gone. In our world, when they get into our networks and they take something, they don't take it. They just take a copy of it. It's still sitting there. Often we don't know about it. Or they're mining elements of data, so they're taking different snapshots of our business to get something that they think has value. But they're not taking it, so we don't ever see it missing. It's a big challenge. But remember, they're more targeted than they've ever been before. And it's most likely, if you consider the size of your business today, it's highly likely that you've already been breached. And you're probably under some form of a subtle attack one way or another. You have a botnet somewhere in your organization or lots of them. You have malware within your organization or lots of it. We try to do our best to keep up with it, but we don't always know. One of the reasons is the technologies that we've been using have become aged. They really look for known problems as opposed to those that are not yet known. So I'll challenge you with this one. If I took a piece of very, very targeted malware that didn't represent or look like anything that was known out there in the world, and I put it on 25 USB sticks, and I put personal photos on the outside of those USB sticks, and I layered them all around the outside of your buildings where the smoking sections were, etc., how many people would actually pick those up and whack them into a USB drive on their device, which is probably unprotected and not limited? And as a result, that piece of malware I put on there now has written itself onto that machine, has found its way onto your network. Are you protected from that? That's a very easy and simple example of just how exposed you probably are. Now I want to take your brain and challenge you with a couple things that are happening in every one of our businesses right now. First, think virtualization. It's a part of every business around the world, large, medium, and small. We're trying to do more with less. It's clearly one of the challenges that we face. Increase service, lower cost, but at the same time, we run the risk of losing data that could put our business financially or from a brand perspective at risk. You need to look at these technologies. A lot of the virtualization technologies are newer and younger. They haven't been fully vetted yet, but there are some out there. And you need to consider your virtual world just like you do your physical world and extend the same types of security policies to the data that resides in a virtual world that you do on your physical devices. The next thing that we're all, seeing as a real part of our businesses today, again, reducing costs, trying to increase level of service, is cloud computing. This is a stop, look, and listen exercise. You need to make sure that you understand where your data resides. Is your sensitive data now moving off to servers that are in different countries? If it is, or even it's just moving off your own servers, which cloud implies, what kind of chain of trust do you have with your providers so that they guarantee you that they will maintain the same level of security with your data that you do when you're housing it internally? Because if you don't, you could run into some serious deep trouble. You need to take a look at who your partners are and make sure that they have the same level of care with your data that you would impose upon yourself and your employees.